Hello, I'm Ian Morris for Pocket-lint, and hands-on videos are sponsored by our very good friends at 3. Now, I'm excited because today I'm here with the Samsung Galaxy Gear smartwatch. Now, this initially was supposed to be a sort of product to respond to the Apple iWatch, but of course that device has never materialised. Meanwhile, Samsung's been beavering away in its labs and has managed to make this, which is the new watch. Now, you can see it's a fairly respectable size, got a nice big screen on it. It's a very, very straightforward process, really. What you do is when you buy it, you'll pair it with your brand new Galaxy Note 3 more than likely, because there's an exclusive deal for 3 months on that. And to pair it, what you do is you touch the phone to the back of the charging bracket. I'll just show you the charging bracket because it is quite interesting. It has the watch just slips in here like this. The front cover clips over it like so. And then there's a USB socket at the back which charges it as you would expect any device. But this has built-in NFC, which enables you to pair the watch with the phone. So you just you tap it on the back and away it goes. The app is available in the Samsung App Store. It is not in the Google Play Store. I don't know if that will change later, but at least for the time being, if you want the app, you have to go into the Samsung Store. But that makes perfect sense. So, what about the watch? Well, first of all, you have to adjust it straight away. The initial sizing was too big. It's a bit of a faff adjusting it, but it doesn't take more than a couple of minutes. And it's it's like a temporary thing, and you can always put it back or readjust it. So it goes on your wrist much like any. It fastens down here. I've noticed that the catch is kind of stiff. You have to sort of almost push it from behind, push it forwards to get it to lock into place, and then it clips in. And it's on. And actually, once it's well adjusted and properly adjusted, it actually feels really comfortable. And it's big, but it's not massive. Certainly, people who are used to wearing more expensive watches won't probably have too much of a problem with this. Certainly, it's not as heavy as my usual watch, but that's made of metal and this is made of plastic. Once you've paired the app, you're able then to go in and you can change certain things on the phone. So, for example, the clock faces are all adjustable. You can add and subtract apps as you see fit onto the watch. By default, you probably can't see this, I'll show you properly in a minute. There are several apps. You've got notifications, S-Voice, voice memo, gallery, the media controller, a pedometer, settings, of course, and then, of course, apps. So you go in and you can use the camera, the contacts, obviously, the dialer, which is all pretty nifty. You can find your device. It sends a signal to your phone, which emits a noise, so it's easy to find. And, of course, you can do things like S-Voice, and you can even make calls. There's a microphone and speaker on the bottom. So if you want to call someone, you can actually do it Dick Tracy style, or like you're in the FBI, it's all very cool looking. It's definitely been designed with a geek in mind, I would say.
5:29 and 10 seconds. At the third stroke, the time from T-Mobile will be 5:29.
It's got a little camera here on the front. Actually, it's quite fun to use. The quality's okay. It does make a noise, so if you're thinking about spying on people, I don't think that's possible. Although I was told that you can turn it off. I just haven't had much of a chance to look to see if that's possible. But same as would go with Google Glass. People are going to notice if you're surreptitiously taking photos of them. So don't do that. Naughty internet. Once you've connected the device up, it shows up. You can see it's on the phone there, and that's where all the app management is done from. You can change the clock face. One thing I noticed actually that's quite interesting about changing the clock is it happens really quickly. You press the button and in a couple of seconds it's changed to the new clock face. So that's actually pretty good. I quite like it. Presumably there'll be more clock faces downloadable. So you could probably get something to suit yourself. I don't know whether there's going to be a lot of development goes into this from third parties, but it's actually a really nifty idea. And the whole thing's actually sort of feels like it's been properly thought through. It's really good. There's find apps for both, so you can find the watch or find the phone. If I press Find My Gear, you can hear it's making a little noise there. So that's kind of handy. So if you put it down and you can't find it, then it shouldn't be too difficult to get back again. The watch is supposed to be selling for about £300, but we've already heard that the Carphone warehouse is discounting it by as much as £100. So £200, and it's still kind of expensive, but it's not that expensive for a watch. We've been told expect about 24 hours battery life, or pretty much as long as the phone lasts. If that's the case, we'll be more than happy with that. Though we've no problem using a charger overnight with anything, really. I don't mind, as long as I can get through the bulk of the day. That's enough to keep me happy. So navigationally, once you're in an app, you swipe down to get out of that. When you're on the clock, you swipe down to get the camera. There it goes, taking a photo. When you're in the camera, you swipe down again and it goes back to the clock, which is quite good. We asked Samsung when we saw them last night what happens, does the screen turn off? And indeed it does. It goes off quite quickly. But there's an accelerometer inside, which means that when you bring the watch up to your, looking sort of height, it automatically turns itself on, which is quite good. If not, obviously there is a button on the side that you can press to either turn it on or turn it off. I have to say, I think it's really nicely made. It feels kind of like it's going to take some getting used to. I'm not used to rubber straps on watches, but it doesn't feel too uncomfortable. I think with a few days wearing it, it's going to be absolutely fine. It's going to be quite interesting to see how people react to it, whether they notice there's anything particularly different about it, whether they see there's a camera on it, whether I'm going to be looking on the train and people are going to think I'm taking photographs of them. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but it'll be interesting to see if that's an issue of any kind. I've got to say, I was expecting it to be less responsive than it is, and I was expecting the screen to be not as good as it is. It's actually exceeded my expectations, really, in terms of a device that you might want to wear all the time, and I'm kind of thinking now, well, actually, I can see the value of it. You can make calls from it, you can dial, so really, it's a kind of nice way of keeping your phone in your pocket, and not actually needing to take it out, especially if you're listening to music, you can control that from here as well. So that makes a lot of sense, and it's something I think I might use, but I suppose we'll have to just see how things go as I'm writing the review for it. So that's our hands-on review of the Samsung Galaxy Gear. For really great deals on mobile phones, why don't you go to pocket-lint.com/VIP, and I'll see you soon.